before we jump back in to finish our notes. One thing is this worksheet from Friday. This one right here that says Systems of Equations 3x3s practice. Y'all picked this up on Friday, bless you, and I asked y'all to sometime this weekend get the word problems, so number 2 and 3, get those set up. So you had to define your X, Y, Z and write your 3 equations. So you should ideally have that part done, because then today your homework, your assignment is going to be now to actually solve them. So you have 3 problems to solve. We may have a little bit of class time at the end where you can maybe get 1 or 2 of them done. But if you're still having to set these up too, there's no way you're going to finish all of this in class. You're definitely going to have to do some for homework. But this is due tomorrow. I am going to I don't have my official tutorials on Tuesdays. My official tutorials are Thursday, Friday, which they will be this week. But our test over Unit 3 is Wednesday, which means it's before any tutorial this week. So I'm going to have an unofficial tutorial. You won't be able to sign up for it in RTI Scheduler, but on Tuesday, that's tomorrow, if you would like to come, and I'll do it Wednesday too, since we have lightning lunch before y'all come. If you wanted to come Tuesday and Wednesday, or Wednesday instead of Tuesday, the second half of lightning lunch, so part B, I have duty, but my duty is literally right outside my door here in the hallway. So if you need to come during the second half and sit in here and work on this or work on your review or whatever it is, and then be able to ask me a question, you can just get up and come to me out in the hallway and ask me your question. Okay, so it won't be an official tutorial, but you can come sit in here and work, and I'll be right outside the door for you to ask questions to if you get stuck on something. Okay, so just know that you can come Tuesday and Wednesday this week before our test for an unofficial tutorial. But so this practice assignment is due tomorrow. So you have today to work on it. You have tonight, you have tomorrow during lightning lunch, but it's due tomorrow. So then the review that you picked up today, I actually posted this last week, but I didn't have the hard copy printed. So you picked up the hard copy today, and I want to explain about this because it's different than our previous 2 units reviews. We have not taken a review for a grade up to this point. Unit 1 and Unit 2 reviews were optional, highly recommended, but optional. And it seems like not a large majority, actually probably a large minority, are actually doing the reviews when they're not for a grade. So students aren't as prepared as you could be, as you should be for the tests. So we decided that to incentivize, motivate you to do the review, we're going to make it a grade because you're more likely to do it if it's for a grade. So the front side of this that says part 1, it's just these 4 questions, is going to be 70% of the grade for the review. Okay. It is going to be like any other review that we've done, Unit 1 and Unit 2, where I will post the key so that you can check your work, and I will post a video. So if there's one when you go to check your work, you got it wrong and you can't figure out why, you can go and watch the video. Go fast forward to that problem in the video and watch me work it out, hear my explanation, and figure out where you made your mistake. Okay. So the front side of the review is just like a normal review. You're going to work it out, check your answers against the key, and then check the video to see the explanation or what you did wrong. I understand that some people will just copy it down because I'm going to post the key. I cannot stop you from doing that, but I highly discourage it because the whole point is for you to practice and check yourself. Of course, there are still going to be people who just copy it down, and I can't stop you from doing that, but I'm not going to give you a free 100 for doing that. That's why this is only worth 70% of the grade. So you can get a passing grade by just doing that, yes. But if you flip over to the back, you can see there's an additional 3 questions. And it says this is going to be 30% of the grade, and this is from Delta Math. So there's 3 questions on Delta Math assigned to you. and they are 10 points apiece, making up 30% of your grade. Okay, so if you go into your Delta Math, oh, I got logged out. Let me log back in. Excuse me. If you go into your Delta Math, right now, you should see 3 things listed under your upcoming assignments. This will load. There we go. So this is what it looks like when you log in. You'll see our assignment from last week is the first one listed. It's due today. Today's Monday, October 2nd. This was assigned last Thursday. So you had Thursday and Friday and all this weekend, and today's your last day to get that done if you're not done with that. Okay, and then tomorrow at midnight, it'll drop to 80% late credit. Okay, so you'll see the review part 2. So when you click on that, you'll see that it's just 3 questions. This is not like our normal Delta Math. This is set up specifically to where you just get this one question and it's right or wrong. Okay, you don't get to keep generating new questions and not losing points. Okay, so this is 3 questions only and you get them right or wrong. So when you generate your question, man, it's being slow today. When you generate your question, you're going to get your system of 3 equations. So on your paper over here, you're going to write down what those 3 equations are. Okay, so you'll fill in the blank for what all the coefficients and that constant are. Okay, and if you need to change, these are minus signs right now because it's easier to change a minus sign to a plus by just adding a line than it is to change a plus to a minus. So you would write what your 3 equations are, and then you have room here to do your work and solve it, and then list your answers. Okay, once you get your answers in Delta Math, you would type those in, and notice it says attempt 1 out of 3. So like in your other Delta Math assignments that we've done, when you go to type in your answers, I've given you multiple attempts. So when you say, yeah, that's my answer, you'll get a notice that says this is not correct. Go try to find your mistake, and it tells you how many attempts you have left. Okay, so I have this set to 3 attempts. So now we're on attempt 2 out of 3. I'm going to go back and look at my work that I have over here, and hopefully I can catch a mistake. I'm like, oh, oops, I forgot a minus. Or, oh, oops, I put the X instead of the Z, or something like that. And I find my mistake, and I come over here and I fix it. I'm like, oh yeah, I just had those switched, my bad. Okay, and then I go to submit. Now, if it's still wrong, you get one last chance to go back and look for your mistake and correct it. Okay, so we're going to get that same pop-up that says this is not correct. Go back and try to find your mistake. You have, and it says you have 1 attempt remaining or something like that. Okay, so then you would do it again. Now, if you get it wrong the 3rd and final time, you're not going to get that pop-up that says this is incorrect. The window's just going to appear with a red X in the corner, and it's going to show you the work. Okay, it's going to show you what the correct answer should have been and how you should have gotten it. So over here on your paper, you're going to circle correct if you get it correct. If you got it correct, you'll see a green check mark in the corner. Okay, but if you got it incorrect, I'm just going to hit submit again so I can show you the screen. I'm not going to bother changing anything. So we got it wrong. So if you get a red X, you would circle incorrect. If you get a green check, you'll circle correct. Okay, and then you'll go on to your next question. Okay, so you're going to do 3 questions like that. Now, if you get any of these 3 wrong, notice it says, if incorrect, do the DM correction assignment. DM is Delta Math for 50% of your points back. You must show work and turn in. So that's what you were seeing here. Under the review part 2, you see review part 2 corrections. Do not click on these corrections until you've done the review. If you click on this before finishing the review, because it is linked to it, it's going to be custom to what you answered in the review. if you haven't finished the review, it's going to just say, oh, you left them blank, they're wrong. Do y'all understand that? So don't do the correction assignment until you actually do the review, okay? Or you're gonna lose out on points that you could have had. Maybe you would have gotten them right if you had just done them, okay? So you only go and do the corrections after you finish this. If you get any wrong, you can go and do this correction assignment and try new problems. So you get another chance at getting some points, and you'll notice it says 50% of your points. So if they're 10 points apiece and you do the correction, if you get the set, if you try again and get one right, then you'll get 5 points. So it's giving you a chance to get some points instead of losing all 10 points for that problem. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, so that's how the review is going to work. Now, if you're showing your work for the 3 Delta math problems here, if you get them wrong, there's not a place here to do your new problems for your corrections. You will just have to do that on notebook paper and staple it to this, or turn it in later separate, okay? There's not room on here for the correction, unfortunately, okay? So you'll notice in Delta Math that the original review is due on Wednesday. That's the day of the test, but the correction isn't until Friday. So we're gonna, if you don't get to the corrections before the test, okay, you can have the rest of the week to do them to get some points back on that grade. But ideally, you would do them before the test. You do them tomorrow or tomorrow night in preparation as part of your way of prepping for the test, okay? But you do have some extra days to get those done if you don't get them all done before the test for the correction piece. Good? All right, so this assignment, that's not what I meant to click on. This assignment is due tomorrow, the 3 questions, and then the review is due Wednesday. Okay, and it's part on paper here and then part in Delta Math, but you show your work on the paper. All right, so 2 assignments due this week. All right.